Man, I'm feeling a little nauseated. That's why I wanted that.
All that stuff, cheese and stuff. Mm-hmm. On top of this. Hey, they make YouTube look fancy. Oh. I don't know how to do like copy and paste on here, so I have to do that old school stuff. Oh, sorry, cat.
Undalini. Or Kundalini energy.
Okay. Controls only. Yep. All right. Now it's on there. After you load, I'll go switch over to the next page. Okay. Now we can.
Grand Rising to all of you. It is 9:35. And tonight we will be discussing the Kundalini energy. Okay. So right now we don't have anyone in the room, but we're going to go ahead. Hi, Siobhan. Hi, Faith. Yes. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you need to grab a pen and piece of paper, or if you just want to freestyle it and go back over this information and take notes later, that would be good as well. I just felt like it was important for us to understand the Kundalini energy, because a lot of times when we're awakening, a lot of us compare it to somewhat a sense of loneliness. Some may say that their experience is one of depression, isolation. Some may even think that there's something wrong in their physical bodies. And to understand awakening, you're not supposed to feel good at all times. And it kind of just reminds me that for some reason, when people think about magic, it's like once you understand your personal powers, for some reason, people get it in their mindset is like it's a sunny day every day. When in fact, we know that's not duality. It's established that we will have sunny days and we will also have rainy days. But we're grateful for both, because it's duality again. Without rain, we wouldn't understand what it was for the sun to shine. And so you got to take the bitter with the sweet. And it's all about the heart of gratitude in everything. Okay. It's not that you're going to have promising days every day. but it's your heart. It's how you deal with your day. You have a choice. It all goes back to choices. Whether you want to smile on those days that's not so good, or if you want to get in a corner, complain, be angry, or if you want to have, again, the heart of gratitude, smile, and control your emotions. Thank you. That's them. Okay. So I just really, really felt the need to also say to you guys, when we're talking about the Kundalini, a lot of people reference that to demonic, occult, OCCULT.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, they feel like, of course, you already know, anything that's going to give you a sense of freedom and understanding of your powers and ascension. People always love to put a bad handle on it. And that we want you guys to stop listening to what people are telling you and to dive in deep and begin to be deep divers. It's time to become deep divers. And I'm really serious. If I have never said anything and you didn't take it, if you took it as a grain of salt tonight, please hear me. It's time to do some deep diving and some soul searching and seeking, because what's my experience may not be yours, and what's yours may not be mine. But what I can tell you is all of us will experience at some point of time an awakening. And that's what brings us to this topic. Okay, so when we talk about the Kundalini energy, it's simply the basic life force. It's the force of life that starts at the tailbone, at that root chakra, not the ground chakra, because there is a ground chakra. I'm doing a whole lot of research and understand that there are 10 actual major chakras and 400 or maybe 500 and something other small chakras within those chakras. So I just want to let you guys know that it's kind of like the caduceus. When we talk about the Kundalini energy, wrapping around the base of the spine, going all the way up into the crown and out. This life force energy wrapping itself around the spine. And so go ahead. What do we have?
Shovana says, showing gratefulness in where you are and where you are, and believing in what you have manifested always requires a test to see if you even believe in what you are doing.
Thank you. So a lot of people may say, oh, I'm a light worker, or I'm a witch, or I'm a healer. But as soon as something does not go their way, or they are placed in a situation that they are being tested, they do not trust. And it's just time out. And they say, you know what? I'm good spiritually, but it's just me, physically, like trying to get over the hump in the matrix. I can't agree with that. Because if you're good spiritually, that means that you're balanced spiritually, which will cause your physical things, those material things, to change. So if you got a strong and a solid foundation as a root chakra, you're not going to worry about where your next meal come from. And I know that because I experienced it. I'm not talking about anything I heard anybody say. I'm telling you what I know because I've been there. I walked away from a nice paying job in corporate America to nothing but just strictly depending on the gifts within and the extension of source energy running through me that we all have, and just learning how to trust it. It was one day I made up my mind that, I'm sorry, guys. One day I made up my mind that I was going to stop protecting and bracing my falls, because that's all we're doing. Our brain is just that. It's there to protect us, and we ride those thoughts to it has no wheels. But one day I just said, I said, you know what? If you don't help me, creator, universe, ancestors, guess what? I'm going to bust my ass, because I'm telling you, I'm putting all my stock in me. And this is one time I am never going to regret it. And I promise you, when I stopped bracing the fall, I began to jump. Life changed. Life changed. Let's talk about, do we have something else?
Yeah, Faith said this is exactly right.
Yeah. So I'm beginning to not just hear what people say, because a lot of people are saying they're conscious right now. It's a lot of people riding this conscious wagon, but a lot of people aren't connected. And this is making a lot of our people, our brethren and sisters, really angry when you say that, but it's the truth. It's one thing to be conscious and to be aware of something, but another to be connected. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world about or concerning something, but if you're not connected, it's like you're a fraud and damn near hypocrite. I'm just sorry to say it. We got to start really lining up. We got to start, because when you are truly connected to Mother Earth, and we have it, we see it every day. The beasts of the wild, or the animals that live, or even the homeless people, because that's all they're doing. They're trusting nature to sustain them, whether we agree with it or not, whether we want to bash homeless people or whether we want to say, oh, this person chooses to live that way. This is nice to embrace them, to be embracing nature. I'm just telling you, we got to get in a place where we're totally connected and depending upon the source energy that's running through us instead of outside of us, because some of us are still looking outside of ourselves for a whole bunch of stuff to happen. Like, you got your trust in your employer, when in fact this person can come in on your job tomorrow and fire you, and you've placed your hopes and dreams aside. And I don't know why I'm going this way. I'm totally off subject, but I'll reel myself back in really fast so I can give you guys the stake. But I just feel the need that somebody needs to know that the energy is rising, and it's time for you to understand what's happening so that you can embrace this form of energy. Okay, caduceus. And you guys see this as a medical symbol. You see it on the ambulance. You see it at the barbershop. It's the stripes that go around the little white casing outside a barbershop. It's the stick with the snake head going around it. It represents, it's in cosmetology. It's in health. It's in
to do with the head, and that's
yes. So it's no way around it. But she's going to give you the definition of the caduceus, and here we go.
Okay. So we'll start off with the double snakes, or the serpent that you see wrapped around. And the double snakes of the caduceus represent duality and the unification of polar opposites. So a negative and a positive.
Yang.
Shakti.
And Shakti.
Yeah. It says, as such, these double snakes speak of a balance and integrate. What is that?
Where?
Integration. That word.
Exactly. Integration.
Polarities.
That meaning they're coming together
in order to strike harmony, such as dualities include the male, female, light and dark, water and fire, left and right, good and evil, illness and health, binding and loosing, wax and wane, separation and union, sun and moon, upper and lower, and asleep and awake. It says, essentially, these opposing snakes represent the concept of yin and yang, like you just said.
This is energy, pure energy, pure life force energy, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. And people cannot argue. This is nothing demonic. Stop trying to ignore the feeling, because it's powerful. It's empowering you. A lot of you don't understand what's going on. So there is a level of resistance that's causing you not to connect. And I just heard that. I hear the ancestors saying, some of you are resisting this. Some of you have dumbed this situation down with medication. Some of you are even speaking against it and you're calling it something that it's not. It may be in the form of back pain and you're taking medication for it. It's not feeling good when it comes up. I'm going to give you the symptoms, but it's just your body awakening. And when you are in a sleep and a slumber, just like it is in our spirit, when we have been asleep for so long, the awakening is not easy. It's not easy. Okay.
Okay. So spiraling serpents, the spiraling contortion of serpents in the traditional Caduceus imagery is no accident. Their spiral effect indicates an expansion of knowledge as well as the undulating dance of cosmic force.
And that's all that is. So it's cosmic force running through your human bodies, awakening your soul,
going back and forth,
bringing you knowledge, going up, coming down, all in figure eight to me.
Yeah, that's infinite. Yep.
An infinite.
Yep.
A figure eight.
That's right. It says that the staff, rod, or the wine, because it's depicted as the staff
and your spine.
Yep. It says traditionally vertical rods are considered archetypal symbols of the phallus?
Where is it?
PHA phallus.
Yeah, phallus.
Phallus. As the dual serpents address the concept of gender, I'm more inclined to view the staff of Caduceus as an emissary of transference between body and mind, like physical and spiritual. So that's what the rods represent. It says, just as the symbolic tree of life, seen in many ancient cultures, connects the expanse between earth roots to heaven, branching into the sky, the rod of the Caduceus may be viewed as a conduit between mundane and ethereal. So the spiritual world and where we are now.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, because go back to that phallus, and that's
phallus.
Yeah. So it talks about the symbol, like considered a archetypal symbol of the penis or erection, is what it says here. Because I'm looking this up. It says a penis, especially when erect, typically used with a reference to a male potency or dominance. I'm sorry.
Okay. This thing right now says the wings are symbolic of ascension. So messages from the divine and awareness from a higher angelic vantage point, as the Caduceus is associated with Mercury and Hermes. We may also infer these wings are icons of travel and serve as a protective icon for the all wayfarers.
Let me see it.
It's
wayfarers.
Wayfarers.
Yeah.
It says as an I can't.
Let me see.
It's like alchemist, but
alchemical
symbol. The Caduceus represents the conjugation of sulfur, which is male, and quicksilver, which is female. This symbol also infers the synthesis of opposites with the goal of unification and transformation.
Now, go back to Wayfarer.
Wayfarer.
Okay, the definition of Wayfarer, that's Wayfarer, is a traveler. It's a person who travels on foot.
Yep.
Okay.
Icons of travel and serve as protective.
Okay, we want to break it down to make it as simple as we can possibly do. Make it so that we can understand. What is Tasha saying? I think, hey, Tasha.
Hey, she said, show me. Okay. She said, hello, my loves.
Hello, love. Hey. Hello. We want to acknowledge anyone else that's in the room that we have not acknowledged. Thank you so much, because we want you to understand what's happening in your awakening. I really felt that this was important a while ago, but we always want you guys to choose your topic. And, we talked about the tantric sex. And we'll put more up on that, but we also wanted to definitely make you guys understand, because we got a lot of light workers that are trying to just really give up, because it's really hard and you're not understanding what's going on. So let us continue to encourage you here.
It says caduceus means herald, staff of office in Greek, and the center rod was a symbol of Hermes, who was the messenger of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says the caduceus association with the medical profession comes from the latter most god, which is I could try to say name.
Let me see.
Asclepius,
Uh-huh.
who is a god of healing. And further, Dr. Carl Jung popularized it as modern medical symbol, as he felt it was an appropriate emblem of homeopathy.
Okay. And so natural remedies.
Yep.
All right. So now let's go to the Kundalini. I'm just trying to get my link here because I did go off. Is there any questions thus far? Does everybody understand what we're talking about when we talk about the caduceus?
I don't know if you had it or not.
Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was good. I like that. How they broke that down.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Okay.
Just 1 second, guys. I'm trying to pick up where I left off so I can give you all that I got. I think that...
It stopped in after the protagonist.
No, let me go back to mine.
Let me see. Faith said, yes, I understand.
Beautiful. Okay, so when we experience, what did Tasha say?
She said, I came in a little late, so I'm going to have to come back and watch it again for the stuff I missed.
You missed about 15 minutes, sis. So we're really just getting crunk, okay? So it says Kundalini energy is just the basic force of life, the energy of awareness, okay? And I'm going to give you all of what this writer is saying, which is Gaia, or Gaia. Is it Gaia? Which is Gaia,
Gaia or Gaia?
Earth. Yeah, Gaia. And so, which is the meaning of nature. But I want to also speak to you intuitively concerning this. But it says when we experience the Kundalini symptoms, that energy is knocking on the door to get our attention. Okay? And awareness so that we can make positive changes in our life, which many of us are ignoring. Even when your body's trying to tell you to change your diet, you know, you feel sick, like you feel nauseated because your body is rejecting the dairy products or your body is rejecting the meat. The first thing we think, oh, I got a virus. When it's simply your spirit, your energy, your soul telling you, I don't want this anymore. Okay? To make positive changes. Okay? When that happens, we can become who we are meant to be and wake up to our destinies. The soul has taken a body. Our soul took this body and come here for a reason. And if you are not living out that purpose, Kundalini can show up as disruptive so you can change courses. Okay? So now listen to this. It's not something pleasant. It comes to disrupt the path you're on so that you can change courses. What did you say?
That made me think about like my journey with like I had to go through, you know, a little hurt and pain so I can get myself out of that situation and get into this so that I can awaken.
Absolutely.
Just like for anybody else, they can't have it too easy because they'll feel comfortable staying in that, and they spirit guide is like, no, you gotta go this way. So,
right. And it's something that's not so gentle at times.
That's true.
Okay. So it's a reminder so that we don't sleepwalk through life. It just comes to give us a tug, say, hey, you're on the wrong path. Wake up. I need you to clean this diet up so that you can see Earth, nature, source, creator, whatever you want to call it, knows time. Time for us, time is an illusion, but the creator knows all things. And when you're getting this pull and this tug in your physical body, pay attention, because your courses are about to change. And a lot of that is taking place now, not to come, but now. So we're going to talk about 8 signs of the Kundalini awakening. Okay. So it says, things are falling apart. You have a nervous breakdown, or your old life isn't working. So this person goes in to elaborate about some old habits, addictions, things that they were being comfortable doing for a long time. All of a sudden, it's disrupted. The relationship's going bad. They're not comfortable at their jobs anymore. It's a pulling and a tugging saying, I want you to pay attention and come out of the system. Because when you start changing, when your body starts changing, see what Faith has to say. When your body starts changing and your spirit starts changing, you're going to reject the situations you're in anyways. A lot of your relationships are going to be torn or tested. I'm going to say tested or torn apart. It's a part of the process.
She said she shows you that where you were once unconscious, there is no more room for unconsciousness. It will make your body feel the tug.
Exactly. Your body will definitely feel the tug. Now listen to this. Listen what this writer says. Old habits and addictions, relationships, family connections, diet, work and career, everything's come up for review. It's like everything is being tested. Wow. Ancestors are in here. You guys saw that, right? If it's not in alignment, I just said this, guess what happened? It will most likely be removed from your life. Now, why are you holding on to it? And why are you second guessing losing some of these things? Or being separated and being pulled from them? Because it's not about them. It's all about you. It's about your awakened moment and your purpose in this life, which means that you're going to have to change courses. And in the process of you changing courses, a lot of these things are going to be up for review. Your relationship, your finances, your diet, your work, your addictions, some of the things you used to do, you can't do anymore. There's nobody going to be there to do it. I had a young lady tell me not long ago, she loved just sleeping around. And she went through a dry season, which made her look at herself. Now, how beautiful is that?
That's amazing right there.
And ain't nothing wrong. Nobody can judge her situation. I'm telling you, nobody can judge that situation. But the beauty of it all is that the universe says, now that's false. All that stuff you've been doing, those are false hopes, false love. It's time for you to look. It's time for you to look in the mirror, because you hadn't had anybody in a good while now. And you don't feel love and accepted, validated. So now we work on the self-love piece. And when I tell you she has grown in the last 6 months, this sister has done some mighty things. Never seen anybody grow so fast. So that goes to tell you that when the universe calls you forth, please come. Please come forth. We cannot resist this process out of fear, but usually that only makes the changes more painful. See, now we talked about that resistance. Give me the Webster's Dictionary of Resistance. See, that's what happens. A lot of us are fearful and a lot of us are resisting. I don't want to stop eating like this. That means I'm going to miss all the family cookouts. So when I go out, I ain't going to be able to enjoy myself. Who says that? Your life is changing. Aren't you wanting to evolve? Aren't you wanting to ascend? Everything comes up again. Everything comes up for review.
Oh, I got it. Resistance.
Okay, let me just read this last part and I want you to give it to me. Okay. This is the beginning of a journey that will take courage. It's going to take a lot of courage, guys. You know this. I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you. Discipline and support to make it through. You're going to have to get a support team, honey. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times you don't find that right off. So it's one where you're going to have to just trust your soul and call upon your cellular memory and the ancestors and Mother Nature to hold on to you until you can get somebody in your soul family, or find the tribe you belong to. And when you find the tribe, honey, you're going to need that support. Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
So resistance, an active instance of resisting opposition, means of resisting. Okay, the power or capacity to resist, such as the inherent ability of an organism to resist harmful influences. So just not going the opposite way. The capacity of a species or strain of a microorganism to survive exposure to a toxic agent.
Yeah,
but I don't need that. But that's just describing.
But okay. So let's break that down. Resistance. The universe want to pull you this way. You pulling back because you're not ready for it. And then not only that, but you don't feel ready because you don't feel like you're worthy. It's your self-love piece. But if you trust the process, you can skip a lot of what you're taking yourself through. Okay.
Siobhan said, like my current job, I'm on a lot of the people come to me releasing how much they hate or fear the job. I see it as a temporary thing to guide me to whomever I came through to meet. And Faye said, anything that interferes with what the universe has for you will be stripped from your life. I relate to this term that everybody can't go with you. It is lonely at the top.
Yes, it's lonely at the top. And the higher you ascend, the less you can take. So, you'll find yourself being pulled away. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of things will be brought up for review. And you're going to be like, oh my God, now my relationship, it was first my money, but you're complaining. And this is all for your good. It's just the resistance. Stop opposing. Stop fighting, because I promise you're not going to win this one. Okay. So number 2 talks about physical, emotional, and energetic symptoms. So it says some people will experience physical and energetic symptoms at this point. This writer says theirs tended to be emotional rather than physical. So they went through the anxiety piece, depression, and despair. But many people speak of very obvious signs such as shaking, visual disturbance, inability to relax, a major rush of energy, or a near-death experience. Some people awaken from those type of things. Sometimes it takes tragedy.
Yeah, because they wasn't gonna pay attention.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't want to listen, and the universe knows just what to give us to wake us up out of our slumber and our sleep. And then we take life a little bit more serious. So I always tell people, I say, there was 2 times that I was very close to death. And the last one, I was 19 years old. So I was really close to death. And I tell people, I don't see life out of the same eyes that you do. It's precious. Every moment is precious for me. I'm very serious about what I do with my 24 hours, especially when you've had to fight for your life. And that was at the hands of somebody else that wanted me dead. But nonetheless, it did not happen, but it woke me up and it changed my path. Because had it not, I would have been all over the place and couldn't have been salvageable. You know what I mean? Had to come back through, but being thankful and understanding, and just a person that it doesn't take a whole lot to get my attention. I just went ahead on and turned on around. Because I was the type of person, if I did anything, I was going to reap for it real fast. Some people, it'd take a long time. That wasn't my story.
Like you couldn't get caught doing nothing.
Right. So they have this in italics, and I'm just assuming that this is a very important piece that the writer has. It says the nervous system is unable to handle the amount of energy that is wanting to move. And this can show up in a myriad of ways. Okay, so let's talk about some of the ways that this can show up. Did you have something that you would? Okay, so you're not getting all. Okay, let me just finish this because I'm on 3 after this. Okay, so it says for some people, the experience is slow and steady, and for others, it's intense and immediate. So some people have really intense awakenings, and some just have steady, slow. It doesn't seem to be as, as intense as yours. Nonetheless, we're all awakening, and we don't supposed to be really kind of judging anybody about how they awaken, what their process was like, because we've been somewhere before, and we had to get to a certain point. So we're very patient with people processes. But it says the most important thing is not to obsess over the symptoms, but find ways to allow the energy to move by healing the body and opening up the channels of energy. Don't focus on the particular symptoms, but find ways to heal the body and release the blocks. Now, I'm going to stop right there with what the writer is saying. We talked about this before. Qigong. Qigong will help you with these symptoms. The depression will go. The lack of energy will go. It'll place you in a totally different mood because you're actually working with and for Earth. But you're healing and helping yourself when you're pushing the energy down and pulling it together and bringing it in and pulling it back out, making your energy balls and throwing them and pushing the energy back down. You're healing yourself, but you're also receiving healing. You're healing mother, and you're also receiving healing. Okay. So, but you got to be, the third one says you got to have courage and you got to be willing and desperate to try new things. So sometimes we got to kind of switch it up. So if you're a person that you've been doing yoga for 5 years, start doing maybe Kundalini meditation or Kemetic yoga, or you may want to even consider Qigong. So you got to be willing. It says people seek changes in diet, seeking out healers, leaving relationships, changing jobs, all done in an attempt to respond to what is happening on the inside. The changes is within. So now you start moving and shaking things around you. A lot of us are all right, let me just leave this person alone. Let me let them go because I see this relationship ain't going nowhere. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you don't need to get a love ritual. Sometimes when I say love, I mean one to pull you guys closer. Sometimes you just really need a self-love ritual or to invest time in yourself. And what's for you is going to be for you. And you don't mind at that point because you build yourself up. You know your worth and you're willing to go wherever the universe takes you. But because we're the masters of our universe and what is it? The God of your universe, you can really manipulate the elements of life. That's what makes you a magician. So if you want that, if you want the love, to bring you guys closer, you have the ability to do it. While others of us say, you know what, I'm just going to start for myself, and whatever the universe has for me, I'll embrace it. But if not, I'm good. I'm well with it. So pull up some physical things that the Kundalini does. And I'm going to go down here, miracles and synchronicity. And so it says here that when the Kundalini rises, it can bring forth miracles and synchronicities. So guess what? You may see 333 3 times in a row. You may be seeing a car tag. You may see it's 333. This is all a part of the awakening. It's not you losing your mind. It's not a coincidence. It's the universe shaking you and telling you, listen, wake up. And I heard a young lady tell me the other day, she said, the universe, Mama Yafa, is speaking and nobody's listening. I said, I'm listening. She said, yeah. She said, a few of us are. She said, but the universe is truly speaking right now, and many of us are not. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? This young lady is right, because we can see these numbers, and all we do is talk about, oh, I saw angel number 333. Hey, I saw it too. Yeah, and then they think about, a way to come up with lottery on it. But what does that angel number say to you where you are right now? Because sometimes it can tell you you're going to be okay. The master teachers ascended masters saying it's okay to trust. And if there's anything that you want to do it now. You have the blessings of the creator. And all you got to do is just say, you know what, this message, how clearer can it get? But we'd rather have somebody in a human form speak a prophecy, a word of prophecy, or speak to us intuitively, and then we trust. Okay.
Oh, I got the symptoms. Insane.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you go there. Go ahead.
So the physical symptoms of the Kundalini Rising is an energetic sensation like electricity in the body or internal lightning bolts. Shaking and jerking in the body, usually totally out of the control of the person. A sensation of insects or snakes crawling on the body, often along the spine.
And guys, listen to these very, close and tell me if you've had some of these symptoms.
Feelings of cold in the body, and conversely, feelings of intense heat in the spine or in specific chakras. Spontaneously, like you're able to stretch out and do different type of yoga poses or mudras with your hands, anything like that you normally don't do, and you just felt like you could do it without you even thinking about it. That's another sign. Waves of intense pleasure or bliss, even leading to orgasm. Big emotional shifts or mood swings well beyond the normal. Sensory overload, sounds, lights, noise, or everything becomes too much. Strange internal sounds that no one else can hear, like buzzing, musical instruments, or thunder. Ways of apparent wisdom or insight into the way reality actually is. And lastly, heightened periods of creativity, where you really overindulge your ideas.
Wow. Now, it also talks about increased sense of smell, which is related to your root chakra. The sense of smell is, and also sensitivity to external things, such as food, people. You like really sensitive to energy, and you kind of like, ooh, this person ain't, something ain't right.
That's right.
That's the Kundalini rising and awakening. And I told you guys this 100 times before. I promise you, menopause and the Kundalini are related. And I've never heard this before in my life, but it's just what I feel in my soul. One goes up, one comes down. It's like when we reach a peak in our life, and all of us reach it differently. Different people have menopause at different times. It's like the universe is saying, now this is the midpoint of your life. Something has to change. And you could either work with this energy, or you can resist it, and your life will be a living hell. But I stopped resisting it. And I began to say, you know what? If this has to be, then let me be able to bear what's going on, because it's really, to me, unnatural. Because I'm telling you, menopause was on me, wasn't it, Courtney?
Yes.
And when I stopped resisting, it stopped.
Ooh, you would be wet.
I'll be crawling from the top of the bed to the bottom. But when I stopped resisting, it stopped.
Yeah,
we got to stop resisting. The awakening is happening. Our bodies are shifting just like the earth is. And it's preparing us for something great, for us to stand up and to be warriors and to operate in this awesome power that we have. But we're being too foolish about it. We're resisting, we're complaining, we're blaming, putting sicknesses on ourselves. We're going through all types of things, naming all types of things, when it's just simply Kundalini rising, energy shooting from the base of your spine, which is your root chakra, all the way up to the top of your head. And sometimes I can just feel it coming all the way up to the head, just like somebody got a big fire sitting on the pit of on the top of on my head.
It feel like it start up here, then it go down.
Yeah. So once you start stop resisting and you begin to accept what's going on, guess what? You'll see everything around you begin to shift because you're connected with the source energy. And there is nothing to interfere. Let's get what they're saying.
They said it is something that has to be embraced. Latasha said, yes, this Kundalini is making a lot of sense to what's going on with a lot of people. And then Faith said, yes, that's it. That's it.
Yes, it heightens your intuitiveness. Some of you guys, you know, you're getting really intuitive. You're feeling it. That creative wheel is flowing. And that's another thing it does. It deals, she said it, it heightens creativity. So sometimes you'll feel more creative than others. I tell you, pay attention to your body. These are center points, energy points, they're portals, and energy is going through them. And start embracing it. When you feel creative, like, oh my goodness, start writing, start putting it down. Oh, my business, such and such. You don't know what you're about to embark on, but the level of resistance is keeping us away from the miracles that's in we have our vortex. It's the resistance. A lot of us are in the vortex, but we cannot really grasp things because we put up a level of resistance, such as, I know I'm gonna get my car, but it ain't time yet. You've already sent a force of resistance there. Or I know I'm gonna marry one day, but I don't know if he the right one, or I'm scared from the last time, how he did me. Resistance.
She said, but the retrograde seems to play a role in this too.
Yeah, yep, and I agree with a lot of people. What it is heightening.
Well, y'all might as well get ready. New moon in 2 more days, and it's going to be in Cancer, so it's going to be emotional for, of course, the people that's under that sign. And if you got that sign in somewhere of your planets, because we all got those signs, but just it's about family and being close, keeping the family together, that type of thing.
Yeah. So when today after we had our dinner, so I felt a little bit kind of like nauseated, like maybe too much mucus was going on in my body, and I couldn't relate it to a sickness, but I had to just say, you know what, my diet wasn't good today, and my body is rejecting what I had. So let's start being accountable and taking responsibility and stop speaking these things over us. Because that's why a lot of people are getting these, they're giving you these diseases, because you're naming them. You're naming them.
I feel like I'm getting sick. We always think we sick.
And when your body can just be telling you, just take a little time to rest, because that's what your body does. It repairs itself when we rest. Before we can give it a name, let's evaluate and let's do a self-assessment as to our awakening and how we are going against the grain with our diets. Okay, our diets, our relationships, and then our resistance to us becoming who we really are, in which we are a people that should not be. I mean, I know a lot of people are still in the system, and I don't knock that, because if you got to do a 9 to 5, you got to do a 9 to 5. But I can only promise you that you are so creative. And if you would really wake up and just tap into your abilities,
have something great.
You could have, I'm telling you, it's the time and the season. And when you become awakened and your chakras become balanced, everything is in balance, the universe is going to pour into you. And people will say, yes, 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 because you're saying yes, yes, yes.
Yes, that's true.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me just text one of my clients here. Okay. And so this writer says we become our own healers by becoming aware of what we need in the moment and learning the skills to take care of ourselves, which brings us to the point of we have to be connected with Mother Earth and begin to start studying herbs. Yes, got to start studying herbs so that we can start making our own elixirs our own mucus busters. I was just telling Courtney the other day, I said, I'm about tired of running back and forth to these places looking for natural products. And, I'm an alchemist. And all we got to do is just say, hey, speak to me, ancestors. What is it that you want to give my family to keep us in good health? What is it? If you want knowledge, you got to seek it. And understand that everything, because a lot of people trying to do natural products and everybody's intentions are not good. Just because it got a natural label on it don't mean that it's something good for you.
Yeah, that's right. I do that. Tasha said, do you have a herbal book that would help, I guess?
Yes, I do. I have about 4 of them. I have natural remedies. I have a book with just nothing but herbs and what they're good for. And then, one comes, the list that I gave you guys when you were in class. Who we have saying something?
She said, that was how she said, sorry, you typo. Do you have a herbal book you suggest to learn different herbs?
Yes. Yes. I'm telling you right now, we do. We do. And I will send back over. I don't know if you have it, Tasha, but for those of you that took the Meta Magic class, I sent the herbal list to you guys, which is very good, but probably doesn't go through it. Yeah, it's A through Z, herbs we never heard of before. But if you just kind of go into some of those, one second, guys. What is Tasha saying?
She said, I still have it.
Oh, good. And I'll take a picture of the books that I have and send them over if you want to kind of piggyback off that.
Oh, it's down there. You dropped it. You dropped it right there.
Okay, another one. And Faith said, I make many of my own products: deodorant, toothpaste, body creams, all natural.
Beautiful. Beautiful. As we are alchemists. And this is nothing new, guys. We've been doing this in our past lives. We were the ancient goddesses that made all these things. But we're going to have to take time and not give up and say now, bring back to my memory. And it's somewhere in the Bible. What does it say? Call upon. It doesn't say your cellular member. It just says,
I know what you
bring back to your memory, but we're talking about bringing back our memory to who we were, awakening to those things that we knew was right. But we were, placed into a sleep and a slumber in our minds. And then not to think about what they're doing to us in our food and the chemtrails and, dumbing us down and how we've had the rounds of injections all of our life. All of these things play a big role in it. But this person talks about taking responsibility and healing yourself. He says, for many people, this includes daily yoga, meditation practices, which you're going to get a wealth of information. It says we need time on a daily basis to work with our own energy, clear blocks, quiet our mind, and give ourselves an opportunity to look beyond our ego and our personality. I just talked to a couple today. I said, the reason why you guys are not seeing eye to eye, because you're having a struggle with your egos. You guys are in war with one another. And so it says to our deeper selves. And Kundalini Yoga, which is tradition, it says this is called sadhana, meaning a daily personal practice or discipline. Knowing the tools that lead to inner transformation is the first steps. But in order to actually heal and evolve, we need to use them on a regular basis. So it's not going to work if you meditating on Friday and then you turn around and don't meditate until 2 Fridays later. You're not going to, your awakening is going to be shaking, and, things are going to be coming up and down, and it's going to be like a roller coaster. And you're going to be saying, I don't know, some things ain't working out. It's you. You are the problem. It's you. It's you. Now, yeah. And I like this part. This writer says, knowledge has become wisdom through our experience, and we desire to use our wisdom and compassion in the service of others. So once we take care of ourselves, then, because it says, healer, heal thyself. You got to heal first, and then you reach abroad to somebody else. Do you know it took me 9 years, and I'm still working on me to really totally heal myself and get that church stuff out of me. I would not talk and speak. I mean, I was ministering from New York all the way down to Columbus. I would not minister. I sat my butt down, learned, understood, got an understanding. Because you know what? The source was telling me, if you teach anybody now, you will be doing a half job because you're not fully where you go. You know, I wasn't on my path. I was kind of at the crossroads. And if I had given anybody inner information, I would have been taking them people to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And I just couldn't. I was like, all these people following me. I had to end up telling the people, look, I'm on a journey, and this one is a real, I don't think I can take anybody with me. And then I had to take the title off my name, and I didn't mind by no means. I mean, I did a big strip down, honey. I took some clothes off. But that was all right with me, because now I'm able to reach out and properly heal people and understand this walk that we're in. I don't mind telling people you're beautiful, but you know, you're broken, and it's okay to be broken. You're just a beautiful piece of pottery needing to be put back together. Look at your pieces, amazing. But you got to get back on this wheel, and you got to heal yourself. Ain't nobody going to do it for you. You got to heal yourself, and you're going to start inside. You're going to start with your inside, your thoughts, your subconscious and your conscious mind, understanding through meditation how to master yourself. And it's a job that will never be finished. We are students as long as we are a part of this universe. We are students of the University of Life.
There you go.
Then when the Kundalini begins to rise up to the top of our crown, we begin to have a sense of purpose and destiny. You know what I mean? You begin to say, oh, the pieces are coming together. Oh my God. I am an alchemist, honey. I make products. I can do rituals. Honey, I can even reach down and do my own makeup line. Now I'm going back because, see, I worked on my spiritual stuff. Now I'm getting ready to do something for the physical. So after you take care of your inside, then let's beautify the outside, because that's all the goddesses were back then. They were cosmetologists, but they were healers of the soul. They took care of their insides. I'm telling you, their souls. They took care of the soul, but they were also beautified from the inside out. Taking the time to doll themselves up and be amazingly beautiful. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I don't mean this any harm to anybody. It's okay with your natural style and stuff, but don't get caught up in that where don't nobody want to adorn themselves and be absolutely amazing. It's okay to see these sisters put their face on and their wigs on and rock it, even though you have natural hair. As a matter of fact, we were doing some researching last night, and it was a privilege and an honor in ancient times, and it was a status of wealth for the women to wear wigs. That's how they knew they were. Yeah, that's how they knew they were wealthy.
And the more like jewelry they had in their wigs symbolized how wealthy they were in that rank.
And then the color red was another color that shows that they were of high class. So they had class. I mean, even in Atlantis and Lemuria, when you began to study, it was a class type thing. So we have to understand that that's what they did. They pulled their eyes up. They put oils on their lashes to make them silky and beautiful. And they used henna in the eyebrows.
To naturally change.
Yes.
And guess what? That thing lasts for, is it 46 weeks, the henna? I think it's 46
Yes,
weeks.
and dip their nails in the henna, even color the tips of their fingers. That was another thing. And we're just kind of like, oh, a lot of people don't know. Embrace all of it, goddesses. Even the trinkets and the beautiful jewelry and to adorn yourself is okay. It is okay.
When they become awakened, the first thing they think they got to do is put on a head wrap no makeup, and they think that's part of their journey. You don't have to be that way, because just like we said, our ancestors was not like that. They all had times that they would dress up and look pretty, but they would adorn themselves daily. That was a ritual for them to do. So,
And we are versatile.
yeah, you
The
don't
Black
have to look
Queen,
like
we are
that.
versatile. There are
That don't
times
mean
you
you
may,
won't.
right. I mean, people just doing that because it's a look.
Yeah.
But there are times when, I will throw on my head wrap and I will put makeup on and be that way. And there are times when I have a short wig and a long one, and you already know, but it represents artistry to me. That's all. That's all.
Nothing wrong with people's bash about.
But we gotta, once you understand where you're going, all of these things, you begin to smile upon all of them, because we're all of this, not separated from one thing, because we want to separate ourselves. And oh, I'm never gonna wear another wig, or oh, I'm not gonna wear my head wrap. No,
I'm gonna go natural.
be who you are, and you own it, because you've gone through all of this. The Kundalini awakening, that doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. It's times when you just want to lay down, curl up in a ball, and cry. I done been there before, because you were misunderstood, and you've been isolated, and we are human, so it matters when we are at a certain point in our life, and people are saying certain things about us. Oh, it matters. It hurts. But when you rise above it, then you're like, you know what? Say what you want to, because this is who I am, and I'm authentically me. And I'm not going to change, because I'm embracing, who I am. You got something? Is there any questions, y'all, about your Kundalini rising? Are any of you guys experiencing any of these things? And have any of you established yet your destiny and purpose? Because it's important. We need to find destiny and purpose. And if you haven't, I'm going to tell you something. The new moon, it's the new moon, right? When is it? Tomorrow?
In 2 more days. Tomorrow be the.
Okay, we got to do a ritual. So what we'll do is we'll do a QA for you guys. But for those of you, and we won't be on very long on the new moon, because, we got a lot of rituals. But I was going to tell you guys, for those of you that want to find purpose, please go in our inbox and let's get you on the road to purpose, because we'd like to put that in your petition. It's time now. This new moon's going to help you. But you got to believe it. See, I'm thinking that a lot of people are fascinated with this kind of work, but they really don't believe it. Some of them say, oh, I love the way the candles burn, but they really have a little doubt.
Because you wouldn't be asking questions and feeling anxiety about anything. You just know it's that what it is.
And it's okay, because all it represents is that we need to grow. It's okay for those that have the questions, ask the questions. But if you are doubting, who you are and who your ancestors and the source, who all of this energy is to you, because it's not a person, then we want to help you.
She said, I'm a stronger believer.
Awesome. Very good, Tasha. And that's okay, because guess what? When I first started doing the work, the craft, I was like, oh my goodness, am I really going to be able to pull all this off for myself? Am I going to manifest like this? But with nothing about me in disbelief, I think then I was needing more love than anything. It wasn't the source. It wasn't the ancestors, because I knew they would. But I was just like, am I able to do this? Me? Yeah, you could be a healer. You could be, intuitive. But at the end of the day, if you're not there, you're going to kind of doubt it. And then to think that you could do it for somebody else, that was another thing. But honey, I had to go in meditation day and night to build myself up, because I wasn't letting down. I've come too far. I've come too far.
They said, I will forever adorn myself in my beauty. Yes, indeed, destiny and purpose is on. It has been wonderful. I love this work. This is my DNA. This is me.
And Faith, you rock it well, honey. A young lady came into the center this week, straight from Egypt. She looks like, a serious goddess from those ancient times, just needing that push. She said she's just searching. you know, I've come to a certain point in my life, and now I'm like, now what else? And all I need want to know is just, where do I go from here? And when I tell you, the ancestors worked out in her favor, and the next day she came and she just said, this is a place I just want to come and just, I don't even want to leave. She said, I just want to come in here and just breathe and just sit down and stay.
She's I'm just trying to spread my days out so I can keep coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. She said, I'm just gonna try to keep coming every day. And it's a beautiful thing when you could just shine your light just bright enough to tell that person, just look, you know, you're on the right path, but just take that right up there. You see that light? Yeah, I see that light. Well, keep going, because it's greatness for you.
They said they do it every time. I love it.
I do too. Girl, she got a product line. That thing is off the chain. Never seen anybody that can make a skincare product for your skin. She has really, she's in store for some great things. Really, really.
Tasha said, yes, that's how it feels when you come there, Yafu.
Oh, I'm so happy. And you know what she told me? She said, Goddess, she said, I'm just going to be totally honest with you. She said, people can't just come in here any old kind of way. Because when she was there, we had cleaned the ancestors' altar down just because, you know, the dust and stuff. So I told the ladies, I said, guys, take everything off that bottom part of the ancestor altar and get it cleaned up for them. Yeah. And so Shannon, she began to clean up under there, and she was lighting her sage and the sweet grass to bring, you know, them back around, you know, because, you know, dust and stuff, they don't want to be around all that. Just think about it. They was in this life in a house full of dust. They're going to tell you to dust and clean. And so when she began to do that, our front door just opened like somebody walked through. And I looked, I said, who is this? Let me go out here. I said, now come on, ancestors, what y'all doing? I opened the door, not a soul. They came in. They came right on in. They opened it. The door opened, just like somebody turned the knob and opened it. And then I went and shut it. We ain't had no problem. Ain't nothing wrong with my front door. We don't have that problem. So guess what happened? The goddess came in that day. She said, I just came in, and then she was just showing us. She said, I just wanted to show y'all some stuff. And she showed us a prop, you know, what is it? Her
sample
products. And honey, she's sitting there. I said, I'll be right with you. She was sitting there. Do you know the door opened again? And she was sitting right there, and she stuck her head out.
I guess she was like,
I said, and I began to tell her, I said, somebody, you thought somebody came in? She said, I did. She said, I closed the door when I came in. She said, I don't know. I said, honey, they've been doing that all day. She said, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't come in here any old kind of way. It's either you're going to make a change, because if you buy anything shady, you won't be able to stay. And we found that out today because we were doing some calls. Turn that down, gentlemen. We were making some calls, customer calls, just to let everybody know we miss them, like to have them back. And do you know, one lady told us, and she had a very bad attitude when she came. So they asked her if she, you know, we told her we missed her, and, you know, we were doing some pricing, you know, some specials on some of our services, and you know, we had Groupon. And she said, oh, honey, I ain't coming back to y'all. I don't need your services. And I didn't know, you know, well, I knew the ladies were calling, but they didn't make me aware that, you know, she had, you know, said this until afterwards. And my niece said, I just told her, fine. Okay, thank you. Because, you know, your energy is not allowed. You're not going to come in there. She was uncomfortable because she's at a place in her life where she's resisting. That's all. I don't take it personal. That's just basically how it goes. Very beautiful energy in the place. I always want to keep it that way. And I, day in and day out, work very hard to keep it like that.
I am so late. Sorry.
Oh, honey. Yeah. But, you know, we got a lot of good stuff for you. Does anybody have any questions about the Kundalini? Any questions thus far? And no, it is not demonic. It is not demonic. It's just life force energy wrapped around the root chakra, extending itself up through the other chakras, the center points, making its way to the top, the crown chakra, and coming off.
She said, I love the energy there. And Tasha said she don't have any more questions.
Well, guess what, Goddess? We love to see you coming, and we wanted you to continually come. We've been having quite a bit on our plate, but it's okay, because what we do when we're alchemists, we know how to juggle. things, okay? And I know that you guys are working very hard on your projects as well. And we don't want to leave anybody behind. This new moon ritual, for those of you that are interested, go ahead and send us your petition. We will add you in on this new moon ritual. You know, we love you guys, and your family, you're the soul family. And we'll burn, when is it? Thursday.
Thursday.
We'll probably do it early. We'll probably do it at the shop. Let you guys do a QA. We'll have the candles burning.
It's going to be beautiful.
Now listen, I need you to send me your name and your petition in my inbox. If you don't, we're just going to send a simple, basic light your way. You know, we're just going to send light your way if you don't send your name. Okay, but if you want to be specific, we could just definitely put that energy into your situation.
Marsha said, please add me to the ritual. And Faith said, I will be there this weekend. I'm contemplating moving back to the area so I can do my weekly sessions.
Oh, girl, I love it. Have mercy, honey. We getting ready to start our Reiki because y'all are almost done, but we need to definitely get that Reiki class going. I have a lady that want to come. She's in Pennsylvania. And I know we have to always be very mindful when we're doing stuff, but she's reaching out to us and wanting to come in and do an extern or just to kind of pick up some things with us. But she has a very beautiful spirit and a beautiful heart. And, I'm always welcoming good connections. And this one seems very solid. She's a Reiki master as well. So we'll be starting that Reiki class. I'm not really sure when she would, reach back out to me, but I'm going to be teaching that class real soon. And that's another one. Those are the 3 levels. Very beautiful and intense class. Because if you're going to be a healer now, you got to know how to heal properly. Okay. Faith, we can't wait for your visit, sweetie. Mm-hmm. Got that tea on go for you.
Yep, the tea going to be in for you.
All right, guys. What do we do? Do you have that shaman's prayer? We can read that going out. We're going to read the shaman's prayer. I'll read it to you guys before we close out. Okay, so this is the prayer of protection. And it's to be done twice a day. We're going to post this up in our Patreon.
Oh, I posted it.
Once when you go to bed in the evening. So I'm doing it tonight for you guys. And then tomorrow morning, you'll do once when you wake up in the AM, okay, in your rising. I don't like to say morning. We talked about that. And so this is banishing negativity. I ask the divine within myself, because that's where the divine is, to remove all the earthbound demon and other entities, the dark shields, dark energy, dark devices, and dark connections from my body, my aura, my soul, and cord, and also from my home, my workplace, my car, my places of recreation, and everything in them and miles around them. I ask the divine within myself to locate and bring back my lost soul parts and cleanse, heal, and integrate them with the main body of my soul. I ask the divine within myself to fill me and shield me with brilliant divine light, and to plug all the holes and tunnels in me and my surroundings and my car. I visualize a column of dazzling, shimmering, vibrant divine light coming from above my head, filling my whole body, and cleansing and healing every part, every cell, and every organ of my body. I visualize the divine light spreading in arm lengths around me in every direction, creating a cocoon of divine light all around me. I visualize this cocoon of divine light being covered with reflective spiritual mirrors, with the reflective mirror surface facing outwards. Because that's what the shamans used to wear, those nose necklaces where the mirror would shine outward to reflect away from them. Okay. Okay, and it says, I visualize this reflective cocoon spreading divine light all around. I visualize my home, workplace, car. I already did that. I ask the divine within myself to stay on guard around me and my surroundings as long as my soul exists. I pray for protection of my family members, friends, co-workers, and all the people I know and their surroundings. I ask the divine within myself to cleanse, heal, balance all my energy centers, which are your chakras, when needed, and cover up and protect them when not needed. See, it's important that once we pray this prayer, we cover and protect our chakras. Okay? I ask the divine light within myself to cleanse, heal, shield, and protect all my channels and communication with divine light. Ashe. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. That's a beautiful prayer. And we're going to post it in our and also the read for you guys, because we didn't read it all, so that you guys can also get that as well. We're going to post a prayer and just a little bit of knowledge from the Kundalini energy. Okay. And also, before you I think somebody might have said something, before you start studying on and Googling things, guys, please do an invocation prayer of protection for your mind, your body, and your soul, because everybody that writes something is not legit. And if it insults your soul, do not take it in. I don't care who it is, because these are people just like us. Okay? So we have to begin to understand and receive only that our soul takes in. Because I've seen a lot of people write contrary things on Google, and you see the discrepancy and you be like, you know what? No, that ain't right. But this is. Your soul will never lead you wrong, because it knows it's been here before. Okay. I love you guys. Is there anybody saying anything?
Well, Marsha had asked, was that the same prayer that was posted on November 25th? I told her, yeah, because I posted on the Patreon. That was going to post it.
Oh, you did post it on Patreon? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so
right here.
Okay. She posted on Patreon. Send it to my phone on November 25th. If you guys have a problem finding it, it's no problem. We'll get it for you. Place your petitions in my inbox. If you do not, guess what will happen? I'll just pray a general prayer for you. But if you go in my inbox and you have a petition that you need met, I promise you, we're going to meditate on it the whole day, throughout the day, from 11 to 6 o'clock. This will be going on. Okay. And we will open up throughout the day for question and answers. Hey, what time we should probably do
question and answers?
Yeah.
We could do it or kind of shot.
We'll probably do it at 5.
Okay.
And we'll just let it go until 6, closing time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
Love y'all.